I found treasure within the junkiest of junk wax nightmares. I bought a nightmare of a junk wax collection a few weeks ago and have been slowly working my way through the mess. If you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch that now, and then come back here to continue with the story. We last left the story with my dining table heaped with cards that have gone through a rescue and sorting process. I went through 12 binders that looked like this, with the old-style PVC pages bricked together. I slowly extracted as best as I could any card with a little value, vintage and junk wax alike. My hands became coated in the sticky petroleum that leached from the pages over the years in the hot attic. But I saved some 1981 Fleer cards, including a Harold Baines rookie, a Dale Murphy rookie, and a Jack Morris rookie, and other stars from the 1970s. There were 1986 Topps cards scattered throughout the totes, and after coagulating them all into a single spot, it looked like there was a possibility that a full set was there, or close to it. So while enjoying a Saturday morning coffee, I sorted the set and put it in order, cataloging the missing numbers. It was mostly complete, needing only 58 cards, most of which were commons. I can get 86 Topps cards for about 20 cents a piece at my local card store, so I'll need to invest about $10 to complete this set, which from my estimation is worth it as I will be able to sell the complete set in the $35 range. But building sets means I needed some set boxes, as most of these cards came to me by way of a rubber tote and Ziploc bags. I found a great deal on eBay, 25 800-count boxes shipped to me for $25, $1 a box. That takes my total investment in the collection back up to $75, $100 for the original purchase, minus $50 worth of football cards that I sold off in part 1, and now $25 worth of card boxes. There was a 1990 Bowman box that looked complete, and I tore it apart and numbered it, verifying that all the cards were present and mint. I sleeved the Frank Thomas and Larry Walker rookies, and since I don't have this set, I'll keep it in my collection when all is finished. There was this pile of packs from 1993 Fleer Ultra and Upper Deck Collector's Edition, but they were absolutely cooked and had come out of the moldy boxes seen in part 1. The cards were bricked, but I did my best to rescue the few cards that came loose, including a Trevor Hoffman rookie, a Mike Piazza rookie, a second Derek Jeter rookie, and an A-Rod rookie, among other cards. Most of the packs were a total loss. I mean, just look at this horror show. For every card I rescued, about 30 went into the bin. But the dollar cards I was able to rescue started to add up to something meaningful. The packs from 1996 Pinnacle were solid as a rock, so I opened them up and laid them out to acclimate, and put some in a makeshift humidor to try and loosen them. There's likely a Derek Jeter rookie in there somewhere, and probably a Mariano Rivera rookie too. If they are savable, they will be saved. As I sorted through the Ziploc bags, I encountered some non-sports cards, some Garbage Pail Kids, some 1988 Leaf Monster cards, and some Upper Deck Looney Tunes cards, and some Mattel Barbie cards too. Amongst a pile of the Looney Tunes cards, I found this. I didn't think anything of it, just a novelty card, so I set it aside. There were 3 others. From my original pictures, you can actually spot one of them, as one of you eagle-eyed viewers did in the first video. Right there. It's a Squirtle Pokemon card. I didn't think anything of it, but when I ran into this Charizard, I thought maybe I should look these cards up. They had the Topps logo on them, so I knew they weren't part of the actual Pokemon game set. A bit of research and I discovered these are 2000 Topps Pokemon TV animation clear cards. I had 4 of them, a Charizard, a Pikachu, a Squirtle, and a Mewtwo. And holy crap, I was not expecting the values. The Squirtle is a $20 card, the Mewtwo is a $25 card, the Pikachu is a $30 card, and the Charizard is a $50 card. Huh. Pokemon market for the win, I guess. I had some options to sell, but ultimately just did my thing of putting up a marketplace listing at just under comps, hoping for quick cash. I put up a listing that day asking $100 for the 4 cards, and I had 10 messages in the first 15 minutes, like vultures. Within an hour, I had someone at my house, giddy as a child on Christmas morning, happily handing over a hundo for the cards. And just like that, I had recouped my total outlay of cash for the collection and owned all the cards free and clear. And I was $25 on the plus side. And I still wasn't done going through things. Hopefully, there was more treasure to find. I went through this album dedicated mostly to Nolan Ryan that had some good stuff in it, including the Pacific Trading Cards Ryan Express set. This set has the famous Bloody Lip card in it, and I found 4 of them in the binder. I saw the Bloody Lip card at the Dallas show at a bunch of tables marked at $20, though I'm not sure any sold for that price. But it does appear there's a little more value for me. In the back of the Ryan album, I randomly found an Andrew Jones minor league pre-rookie from his stint with the Macon, Georgia Braves. With his recent election to the Hall of Fame, this card is now in the $3 range. Also in the back of the Nolan Ryan album were 3 cards from 1966 Topps. I thought them a little out of place, so I removed them from the album and set them with the other handful of 60s-era vintage cards I found scattered throughout the mess. As I took out the cards, I got a closer look at the backs. Wait, these are Venezuelan cards. The darker orangish pinkish color on the back is a dead giveaway. To be sure, I grabbed a standard 66 Topps card and put them side by side. See the difference? Holy crap, all 3 of these cards are 66 Topps Venezuelan cards. And they are in unbelievable condition given their origin. For those unaware, beginning in 1959, Topps produced sets of cards specifically for the Venezuela market, hoping to capitalize on the popularity of baseball there. They were produced in much smaller numbers. They were printed on cheaper cardstock and generally lived a rougher life than their American counterparts. The Venezuelan cards are super neat. 66 Venezuelan cards rarely dip below $20 each, and when they do, they are in miserable condition. These 3 cards in this condition are more like $30 each at current market prices, maybe even higher. Very cool find, and a puzzling one, as these cards do not fit the MO of this collection. With each of these little discoveries, it becomes more and more apparent that we shouldn't rush to throw collections like this away before every card has been searched, no matter how daunting the task may appear. I had begun to separate the cards into 3 piles, Hall of Famers in one box, commons in another, and sets for completion. And with that system, I began to make some headway. I had extracted nearly every last basketball card, magazine, and memorabilia and loaded them all up together in a lot. There were more than 20 Michael Jordan cards, a host of major Hall of Famers like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, the Dream Team Sports Illustrated magazine from 1992, and all kinds of cards from 87 to 97. I made it into a nice lot, I sleeved the nice cards, took some nice photos, wrote a nice description, and uploaded a nice listing on Marketplace, and in a few days had the basketball lot sold to a nice guy for $200. I had more than doubled my money on this collection by a victory, but we were just getting started. Another random find in one of the shoeboxes was this silver pocket watch. It was marked as sterling and it was heavy. With silver prices what they are today, this very well could be several $100s worth of melt value. Typically, a deal is a deal when I buy collections, but I bought a card collection with no understanding of antique watches or jewelry being a part of it, and this seemed like it was an heirloom mistakenly and honestly misplaced. So I messaged the previous owner and let him know I found the watch. If he wanted it back, I'd be happy to put it in the mail. It turns out he wanted it back, so I was happy to oblige, and I didn't concern myself with the few bucks in postage to get this antique watch back to its family. More randomness was found in the way of cards in cans. 12 cans of cards from the Pinnacle inaugural WNBA set, 10 cards per can. There is some sales history on eBay for these things, ranging from $6 to $10 per can. These cans aren't exactly mint, and I can't guarantee the cards inside aren't bricked, so I'll list these super cheap and be honest about that possibility. I bet someone out there is willing to pay $20 for the lot, And speaking of cans, there was also one of these, a duplicate of a can I acquired in a collection last year. That one I opened. This one, knowing what's in there, I'll keep it sealed for the next collector. One of the last things to investigate were these 2 small boxes of Magic the Gathering cards. At the beginning of all this, I just set them aside as I know almost nothing about them. Indeed, I was thinking of just putting them up for sale for $20 to get rid of them. But after the little Pokemon situation, I knew I should really do a little due diligence. So one rainy weekend, I threw on some World Baseball Classic and dug in. I had to learn about these cards from scratch. I learned that the year and the series of release is indicated by this little symbol. I learned that symbol changes with rarity, black for common, silver for uncommon, and gold for rare. Figuring the gold rares would have the highest value, I went through the 2,000-ish cards and separated out each gold rare. I looked them up as I found them, and indeed there was some value there. $5 here, $7 there. I was keeping a running tally and realizing that $20 would have been underpricing things. Then I got to this card. A gold rare Survival of the Fittest card. I looked it up, and oh wow, that's an $80 card. Okay. That is the single most valuable card I found in this whole collection. So I set it aside. And then I found another one. And another, and another, and another. Crippity crap, what is going on here? It turns out there were 16 gold rare Survival of the Fittest cards in this box. 16! More research on my part found that these special edition gold border cards aren't sanctioned for tournament play in some cases, only the black border cards are. So that took away a bit of the value, making them more like $60 or $65 cards. But still, I was easily looking at almost $1,000 worth of Magic the Gathering cards in just these 16 cards, if I could find the right buyer. I took as many pics as I could and threw it up for sale. The interest was high, but the Magic the Gathering folks are fussy. One guy actually asked if I would send him a picture of every card. Dude, there are 2,000 cards here. No, I'm not going to do that. Another person asked if I would make a list of each card's title, which of course I would not, and then he asked if I would ship to Australia. No, I'm not doing that either. I did find a guy who represented a group of Magic buyers, and we met, and he went through the collection and offered me my full asking price of $1,000. He was going to split that cost among 9 other players at $100 each taking one of the survival cards, and then they would sell the rest to their TCG buddies. I thought that a fine scenario, as they had access to an even better market for it. So yeah, $1,000. I'll set aside some of this unexpected windfall for my Cards for Kids project. By now, I had spent probably 15 hours or so sorting cards, dissecting sticky pages, battling mold and mildew, and wallowing through the junkiest of junk wax cards in horrible condition. And it was all worth it in the end. I had sold off nearly everything except the baseball cards, and now I needed to finish strong and get this collection flip finished. There were hundreds of pages of random cards all mixed up together. All years, all teams, all conditions, no organization. I went through them first just to make sure there wasn't a Mickey Mantle rookie or something huge randomly tucked away, which there wasn't. But I did note what cards were there and for which sets, in case I needed them for set completions. And I removed as many Hall of Famers as made sense. Time to work on the sets. As I mentioned, there was a complete 2000 Bowman set, and I already assembled a complete 89 Donruss set. The 86 Topps set needed an LCS trip for completion. I suspected there was enough 89 Donruss for a second full set, so I went ahead and did the work to build it, extracting cards from more sticky pages and dilapidated boxes. As it turns out, there was a second full set of 89 Donruss cards, missing only 2 cards. And that included the Diamond King cards, the All-Star cards, and the MVP cards. Only needing one set in my collection, I built for myself an 89 Donruss Master set of sorts that included the extra subsets, a Leaf Baseball's Best Griffey rookie that I picked up at the Dallas Card Show, an unopened wax pack, and a box block of my own design. This I'll keep, meaning I could sell the other one, $20, to a happy buyer on Marketplace. I assembled a near-complete set of 1989 Score, and even though this is the lowest of the lowly low junk wax, it is still a set I screwed around with as a kid, 19 cards short of complete, but I treated myself to a Score Griffey rookie at the Dallas Card Show as motivation to complete this set. There appeared to be a near-complete 89 top set, and after sorting and numbering, this set was less than 20 cards short of completion, so that's another easy task, and worth the $3 or so it'll take to source the missing cards. But for comparison, what is in and on the box are the set cards. This leaning tower of cardboard, all doubles. More doubles than there were cards in the set. This will be a theme going forward. After sitting out the brick packs for a few days, some of the Fleer Ultra cards started to detach from one another. There were a few Hall of Famers worth saving and 3 Jim Thome rookies. This right here, this makes it all worth it. These cards are worth saving. But I had avoided the tedious work long enough. There were an absolute ton of cards from 87 tops, 88 tops, 89 Fleer, 91 Score, and 91 tops. A ton. More than 2,000 cards from each of the sets. There was a partial, in-order 87 top set locked in this prison, and I thought long and hard about it, but whatever, I'm doing it. So with Parks and Rec on in the background, I spent an hour dissecting this sticky mess. The pages eventually came apart, and when I got to the 300s, there was the Barry Bonds. In nice shape, given how I found it. Yeah, it's only $1 or $2, but this is another card worthy of this rescue mission. Oddly, this Willie McGee card had all of the red ink missing from it. I tried to find another instance of a red ink missing error from this set, but couldn't find any. I thought for a moment of putting this ultra-rare one-of-one error card on eBay for $500,000. But then I just threw it in the garbage, where it belongs. After exactly 2 episodes of Parks and Rec, the cards were out of the pages and in the proper box. I tried the same with these Donruss Triple Play cards, but so many were missing that it only made sense to remove the Hall of Famers and separate the bulk. Same with the 1991 Score set. Not near enough complete to try and finish it. Just cut and run. But not before removing some of the choice cards, like this Chipper Jones rookie. Flipping through the other sets, I saw a lot of doubles. A lot. Like 4 and 5 of many of the cards. It didn't feel like I would be close to complete sets out of them. But I'm me, so I tried anyway. In all instances, there were much more doubles than cards. The 88 top set was almost 200 cards short of complete, with more than 1,000 extra cards. Same with the 1991 tops, too far from completion to make sense to continue. Same with the 87 Donruss. Same with the 89 Fleer, even if most of the big cards were there. In this instance, I recently got a near-complete 89 Fleer set for free at the Dallas show, so I was able to put together a set, and I was able to include some of the subsets, like the 89 Fleer League Leaders, which was in this collection. But 1988 Fleer was complete, and then some. There were some of the extra subsets from that year, including the League Leaders. So, like the 89 Donruss, I made up a little bit of a master set in a fresh box, with the complete set and the subsets, and an unopened wax pack and a box block customized to reflect the design of the set, and I even included the Craig Biggio rookie from the update set. A small victory that set me up for the final task. The last thing to do was tackle this huge pile of 88 Donruss. Like a flagellating monk in Holy Week, I sorted the set. To nobody's surprise, the set, which is only 660 cards, was 213 cards short of complete. This is what happens when you open packs. Doubles upon doubles, and minimal progress towards completing a set. Thankfully, I've got a good relationship with my LCS, so maybe they give me a ripper deal on some commons. But buying singles in each of these instances doesn't seem worth it. I may just need to bulk these cards out for cheap. With the entire collection now finally sorted, and some cash in my pocket, it's time to go do some shopping. I've got cards to buy, sets to complete, and collectors to find. I've got bulk to move, singles to preserve, and part 3 to make. Thanks Thanks for watching. Help support the channel with the purchase of a custom card box divider made to your exacting specifications. Send me an email at philliesbaseballcards@gmail.com to talk about how.